Hello, hi, how y'all? My name is Michelle. Welcome to my channel, my YouTube channel. The name of my channel is Michelle's Gardening Lifestyle. Um, I do a little bit of everything, as they say. I am here in Ohio in Zone 6B, and I am starting my seeds for 2026 spring seeds, and I am working on my brassicas. Okay, so why don't you come along with me and we can do a little chat as we go along and start these seeds. Okay, I'm starting off with some spinach seeds. I got these seeds right here from Greenstock, and I use this to start my seeds. I use seed starting mix, and I put a little perlite and vermiculite. I can't even say it correctly today. God, forgive me. I mixes that in there together with a little bit of worm casting, and that's my and you can also use cocoa cord and perlite and vermiculite, and put a little bit of worm casting in there as well. If you want to make your own seed starting mix, started running out of seeds starting mix, and I ended up had to mix it a little bit more with some cocoa core, you know, and some perlite. Okay, and what I do is I have purchased these starter kits from. I got these from Amazon, and I think it were 5 pack, and I think it cost like $20, and it comes with a dome cap top that you want to use to um, put on your seeds. It helps your seeds to germinate. It keeps the soil moist and keep it from drying out as fast. And what I'm going to start off with, I have pre-moist the seeds, the soil already. I use this to spray the soil, and I have got this from Menards, and it was $6.99. I garden here in the urban part of the city, and I have a little backyard, and I have like maybe 13 raised beds. I have 3 green stalks. I grow in my green stalks as well. Um, I plant. I have some fruit trees, and I have some blueberry bushes and blackberry bushes and raspberry bushes in the backyard as well. So, as you can see, I love to grow the garden. I've been doing this for maybe 12 years, probably longer. And I also does winter, I dibble dabble in some winter sowing as well. I've been doing that for maybe uh, like 6 or 7 years or so, or maybe a little longer with that as well. And that's my favorite method of growing seeds, and for my garden. And you could do flowers as well as vegetables. And that winter sowing jug, I have a video out there on that as well. So you start off. Let's get back. You start off with labeling. So you definitely want to label your seedlings, guys, because you will not remember what you plant. Once you start planting stuff, they all look the same. So I'm gonna put by maybe, let's see, 4 seeds of spinach in here. Just press it a little bit because the seeds are very small. See how small the seeds is? And when they small like that, I just barely tap, press them into the dirt, I mean the soil, and then because you're gonna cover them up. And if you read on the back of your seedlings, it tells you how far you want to plant those in the depth. And it says 1/7. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see it anyway. So that is finished. Put the tag in. Let's what's next? Let's do Karabi. I think I told you I live in Ohio, didn't I? And I'm in the zone, garden zone 6B. See, these seeds are very small. You can barely see these seeds. So when they that small like that, I just pinch them and I sprinkle them on the top of the soil like that. And you're gonna thin them out anyway once they germinate. You know, I first started growing garden back with my mom. Me and my mom, that was something that we did together. And she loved to garden. When we came, you know, we were originally from Mississippi. And when we came from Mississippi, we lived down the way. And that's when my mom first had started um, doing her garden. And she had some of everything growing in her garden. When she bought her first house, she turned her backyard into a garden. And um, I used to see her back there. And as a teenager, that wasn't something that I wanted to do. But I love fresh food. I grew up, eating fresh food from the garden and cooking because I'm from the South. I'm originally from Mississippi. So I grew up, you know, I grew up with food from, you know, farming your own food, you know. And so that was something that my mom loved to do. She loved to, to garden. So I ended up, after once I got grown, I started trying to learn how to use. I was concerned about food then, and so I would want to go to the farmers market. That's what it started off first, with just going to the farmers market and getting fresh produce from farmers market. And then when I got mine, got married and had kids and started getting into cooking more and watching what we cooked and ate, I started wanting to garden, figure out about garden. But once I always thought I couldn't because of, you know, at one point, I lived in apartments, and when I was, younger, not younger, but, earlier adults, and I felt like, oh, you can't garden in somebody else's apartment or rented a house, renting and stuff like that. So I didn't pursue it anymore. And then after I got my own house and things, it was on in, you know. I just love to garden. It was always something that I found peace in, you know. And it's if you learn how, I was always fearful about the fees and stuff because of I didn't want to do it in my house at one point. And then when I did start trying to learn how to do it in the house, I couldn't manage those nets. I figured I got discouraged about that, and then I wasn't paying attention of how to plant the seeds and how often you got to water it. So I got discouraged with that. But I kept up with garden. I just didn't want to do. I didn't do too much of seedlings. I kind of just bought my seedlings from a lot of the garden centers, and then Lowe's and Home Depot, but that can come very expensive. And so I kind of, this is right here, Brussels sprouts, guys. I'm just moving along, talking and not telling you what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm very new with this, guys. So please bear with me. Garden channel. I'm new at this YouTube stuff when I sing. So I'm trying to learn and how to work the camera and the process and interacting more with my people and trying to get more people to be interested in what I'm doing. Next is kale. I'm a type of person, I'm not particular with one seedling company. I basically will pick up seeds from anywhere and everywhere. Don't let me find them on sale, because then I go hog wild, you know, with seeds. As a matter of fact, I got another 2 orders coming in now. I was trying to hold off on them, but it takes so long to receive your orders of seeds. That's what they say, start early, because you don't want to miss out with the growing time waiting on seeds. I'm gonna try this year, guys, for the first time. Broccoli Brassica, whatever. Lord, I don't mess that up too. If it's a way to mess up somebody's name or word, it would be me. Okay? That's always been me. So with my labels, I put like this is from in my garden. I put MI for in my garden. Then I label it, and then I put when I started the seeds. Then I stick the seeds in here. I usually overseas my seeds because I don't want to be doing this and it doesn't germinate. And when your seeds are older seeds, your germination rate is lower. So I always heavy sow my seeds. It's red cabbage. I always heavy seed. I'm a heavy seeder person because of, I want my vegetables. I want it to that's something that I don't have patience for. But I'm getting better because gardening will teach you patience for sure. These seeds are very small as well. You can barely see them to pick them up. Look how small these are, like little dots. This is red cabbage. I'm doing 2 sales of that because there wasn't nothing left in here, so I wanted to use up those. And then I'm growing enough. I'm gonna try to grow enough. Try to grow enough for me and my brother. So my brother, I encouraged him to do a garden, and he's for the last 2 years he's been doing his garden on his back porch. That's exciting, and he's doing very well. You know, I'm like, look at him, you know, and let you know you anybody can do garden, guys. You just got to get out there and try. And even if you don't want to be, into starting your own seeds, you can, like I said, pick up your seedlings from the support, Home Depot and Lowe's and the garden centers. I'm gonna do a whole roll of kale because I want a lot of this. And then I want to put this in my green stalk as well. Because this is the dwarf, you know. This is the dwarf version. So I can put these in my green stalk. And plus this is the Dollar Tree. So you can get seeds from the Dollar Tree. This is 3 for $1.50. Seeds has went up at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna sew these kind of heavy as well because my brother wants some of these, and my best friend, she wanted some as well. So I'm gonna put as much as I can. Maybe I do 2 rows. I'm just sprinkling them on the top. I think that's enough. You write another label. So have you started your brassicas yet? And what zone are you in? Are you in 6B? Mhm. And what made you start want to do gardening? Is this something that you did with your family as well? Okay. I'm growing for the first time this year. I'm gonna grow artichokes. I'm gonna try this year. And I got these from Baker's Creek. And even I'm gonna put these in my flower bed. I think because I love the way the flowers look. So I'm gonna do another row of spinach. I don't know if I have enough. Let's see. And I'm gonna do another row of collars. So let's try. I'm just gonna do 3 in each. So I'm gonna do 3 seeds and just 3. So that'd be a total of 9 seeds. I'm hoping that they take off. And I'm gonna share it up with family and friends as well. Mm-hmm. I'll do the 2 rows. Do 2 of those. Look at these seeds. So they're not as big as the artichoke. So with my artichoke, I'm gonna stick them, use my little dapper, and I'm gonna stick them down a little bit. And cover that up. I have heard that spinach is kind of difficult to do um, to get started. I usually does my spinach winter sowing jugs. And so I love, like I said, I do a lot of different stuff in that as well, winter sowing. So these last two rows, I'm gonna do, they're gonna be collars because you know we gotta have some collars, okay? Definitely collars. Okay. So this one is called Top Bush 2.0, and these were botanical interests. So I'm gonna put BI, then label them collars, Top Bush 2.0. I don't know what that means 2.0, but I'm gonna do a whole roll of that. In the next couple weeks, I'm gonna get my tomatoes done, and I guess then I do my zucchini and squash. I'm gonna wait on them because zucchinis and squash grow, to me they grow real quick. Like I said, I like to sow heavy, guys. You can't go wrong when you oversow. All you got to do is thin them out. You can just pluck them out, or you can when you go to up pot them, you can divide them out and put them in, split them like that, or you can just take your scissors, and if you don't want to do that, just take your scissors and cut off the weak ones. Some, like I said, some is gonna make it and some is not. So that's why I always heavy sew mines. So this is the good old Georgia collars. And even though I do my little seedlings, I still would pick up some at the stores as well, especially if I don't have that the type. I would definitely pick it up from the store, but I'm trying not to. It's like I said last year, I retired, so I'm gonna be on a budget now. So I want to do as much I can without spending the money in the stores. You know, I'm into I knew about canning years ago, with my from my family, and elderly woman, Miss Rosa Ball. She taught me a little bit about canning as well. She was a family friend. She just passed on now. She's gone. And she taught me about canning. And so I have lately I've gotten back into canning. I have gotten back into baking. I'm starting to get into making my own breads and things of that sort, sourdough making and things of, and pound cake, making pound cakes. I'm got it round down, went down that road with learning how to do pound cakes. I have made maybe like 6 so far, and it came out pretty good. I'm getting better and better with it. I always kind of steered away from pastries, but now, I'm getting back into it. I'm also, working on my backyard and developing my backyard, my garden area. This year, I plan on trying to improve how um, my garden plans this year, because last year my trellis didn't do well with my tomatoes, and they was just laying everywhere. I did good with the tomatoes now. My tomatoes showed out though, but the trellis is just collapsed everywhere. And then I want to you want to rotate stuff as well. You don't want to keep stuff growing in the same areas all the time, because that can you can get diseases that way too. So I need to change the foot plan with my garden, and also I want to develop more flowers into my garden and also into my landscaping. So I always focus on perennials, especially when you're trying to develop a new landscape. I put most of my money in perennials, but I want to do some more in flowers this year. So I'm gonna try to grow more flowers. I have been picking up some bulbs and things. I got some bulbs from I got some hostas from Sam's. And then I got some flower bulbs from Costco's that I had picked up. So I want to do. Ain't that's gonna be pretty? And I think this was 19.99 for 36 bulbs, guys. And these are gladiolas, and I can't even see that one. Elephant ears. That is so pretty. That's gonna be so pretty. I plan on putting this in my front yard and also along my fence line in my backyard. So I'm gonna pot these in the pots next week, guys. So come back and we can, up pot stuff together. So now I have put these seeds in. So I want to take a little and sprinkle lightly. But most of these were very small seeds, guys. So you don't really have to, put a lot of soil on top, because I'm also going to put the Viclamite. I can't even say that word today. Why, guy? Why? It's not coming out. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming out. Guys, bear with me. Sometimes I get frustrated with, trying to figure out how to do this YouTube stuff. And I'm like, it's not looking like, you can't be worrying about how everybody else's, stuff looking and what everybody else is doing. I'm just going to do me, guys. You know, I never been one to follow, the trends of what everybody else do and keeping up with, you know, the Joneses and all this other stuff like that. That's not me. That's not my style. But I do like to learn from people. and follow you know, follow advices of others, but I'm not going to kill myself, you know. So lightly spray. I'm going to spray it again because I don't remember if I sprayed it. This little thing is a keeper. My soil was already moist. You don't want it too moist because you don't want it to rot out your seeds, but you don't want it to dry out neither. Okay. All right. So I sprinkle a little bit of this on top, guys. That helps with the fungus and also with drying out and mold and things like that can happen to your seedlings. It just increases your chances, guys. So I uses it. And you just want to lightly sprinkle it. So that's it, guys. And you put your dome cap on. Make sure you close your dome. Trap in a little of that moistness. Water it from the bottom. Check on it every couple days. Make sure that your water, I try to check on it every day because my thing is you got different stuff. Like I got stuff I already have planted out already, started up already. So when I come down to check on them, I come out and I'll check on this as well. So thank you guys for stopping in with me. And I hope you liked what you saw here. And I hope you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment in the bottom, y'all. Give me some advice if you can. I'm not one to shy away from, and I won't take things personal. I know that I might make some errors in this process as I learn how to do this YouTube. I'm not new to the game with gardening. I don't claim to know everything with gardening as well. It's learn, you learn every single day. Become every time you go out there, you learn something more. And every time you plant something, you learn something. The more you learn about the bugs, you learn about the diseases. You learn if you like that plant, if you like that vegetable, you learn how to grow, how to maintain it, how to fight with the animals. You're gonna fight with the deers and you're gonna fight with the raccoons and and the squirrels, but it's worth it. You know what you're eating, you know what you're putting inside your mouth, and it helps me become more healthier, you know. So I hope you like what you saw here. My name is Michelle. Thank you for watching Michelle's Gardening Lifestyle. Bye.